In the wild, the grapes wrap themselves up around the tree and climb relentlessly, and only when they are above the tree, to the sunshine, are over the canopy, only then they start to create grapes, produce grapes, fruit. Until then, all they do is to get to the sun. That's what they want. So we understand that now. We want them to work to suit us. So what we do on the farm, on the vineyard, we let them grow all the way here. That's all. That's where they start in spring. Then we train it to go on wires. So as soon as little shoots come out, it's already in the sunshine. So they only goes a little bit and it's happy and leaves the fruit. And for us it's easy to pick. In spring, we chop it again to that stump, the main stump, and it starts again in the spring, and then at the autumn we get our fruit. Winter goes to sleep, we chop it back down. But the roots go down non-stop. They are vines that grow 10 years. Once you get little shoots, it takes 4 years to start getting some decent grapes. No, you can't do it before. Decent wine you get year 5, year 6 from shoots. But you can get wines from it 30 years later, 60 years later, 90 years later. And there are vines around the world, 30 years plus. And under the ground, they are like a 10-story building roots. So imagine they keep growing and they never stop. At the top we chop it, but at the bottom they go 10 stories down. And they feed in different nutrients. If it's rocky soils, if it's granite, if it's coal, if it's limestone, if it's clay, if it's sand, if it's pebbles, it will pick up different flavors from those. Iron and magnesium and whatever else is there. And the grapes will give you different flavors because it feeds on those different foods that's underground. Then another thing is, if you grow the grape in England, or if you grow it in south of Italy, near Africa, the grapes will develop differently as well. Even the same grape, you have a clone, you put one in Yorkshire, and you put that same grape in south of France, south of Europe, where it's hot 8 months of the year, compared to hot on and off 2 months of the year, the same grapes will ripen differently. Imagine the globe, our planet, and the equator, the belly of it, is too hot for any grapes. They prefer a little bit away from the equator, a bit to the top, where Europe is and whatever, a bit at the bottom, where Chile is and Argentina and Australia, but not too far to the poles, Antarctica and North Pole, we don't like that. So there's two little belts around the world where they really do well. Another thing is, Shiraz, for example, it's a heavy grape. It's dark, it's got a very thick skin. If you put Shiraz grapes in Yorkshire, you will not ripen properly. It will try to do its best. Springtime starts the shoots. March, April time will start the little berries. July, August, those grapes didn't go much further from green and ripe grapes. Grow it in hot climate at 40 degrees Celsius, 100 Fahrenheit, whatever, from May to June to July. By end of July, everything is in full growth. You can pick those grapes. So even by now, countries with traditions learn that you want to make wines in England? Well, use Riesling and Pinot Noir, a light-skinned red grape, and Bacchus, like nobody else grows Bacchus apart from some places in Germany. You're in Australia, grow heavy Chardonnay, heavy Shirazes, the big grapes that are adapted to that, and they can do massive harvests. So climate, weather, hot temperature throughout the year, soil, everything influences the wine. Supermarket wines They are good, they are popular, they are nice wines. But a lot of the supermarket wines, think about a brand, any brand that you can find in your corner shop, in a petrol station, in a big supermarket, Tesco, Madison's, everybody has it. Those wines are not made from a hill in the south of France with a farmer going by himself to pick the grapes, get them in, crush them together. Those large volume wines are lorries upon lorries of grapes coming from anywhere, sometimes hundreds of miles away from each other. They arrive to the factory, and there are good experts that bring them in, squeeze them out, and then blend and mix to the same flavor, hardness you know. But it's not to put you off, but those kind of get lost in understanding what is a typical Chardonnay from Australia, what is a typical Shiraz from, gets a bit lost in what it is, yeah? But the more you choose wines from a particular region, a smaller batch, it's gonna be more expensive because there's more costs, what have you, but you get more to understand what weather, soil, makes a difference to the wines.
Yeah, the flavour.
Yeah? Okay. We had this experiment. Maybe if you want to get to understand the tannin, peel yourself just the red skin and chomp on it a second to really, hopefully, recognize tannin.
Oh, how is he eating all these?
It peels with a finger. Yeah, you got it.
I didn't think I'd be peeling grapes.
I know. So I want you to, taste the flesh only. We taste the flesh. Yeah.
I'm with
It's not very nice. I don't like red
dry.
Okay. Dry. It dries even the mouth. Not just dry, not sweet. Yeah. Dries the mouth. Puts hair on your mouth, on your tongue. Yeah. That's tannins. Okay. That's how you recognize them. Red wines you talk about. It's not whites. Okay. So I have that activity. You can make some. We can make some notes together. Page 7. Tasting the flesh. The mouth waters. That's acidity. We haven't done that, but it's okay. I did mention it. If you taste sweetness on the tip of your tongue, that's the sugar in the grape juice. I think the flesh is sweet and juicy. It's fair to say that the flesh is generally sweet and juicy. Chewing the skin and the red grape. The skin and the second grape, you told me dry, feeling in the mouth. You said hairy, dry teeth. I don't know what your own words, or you agree with them? It's fine.
No, I agree.
The inside of the grape is like sweet, isn't it? That's what he's saying. Whereas the skin on the outside is more like a dry, acidic.
I'm confused. What was
So
it?
what's the second grape?
We're going back on what we did already, but just put some notes.
Just
You
to
tasted
remind
the flesh on its own, and it's fair to say it's sweet and juicy.
Yeah.
The
When-
skin.
No,
That's
the
the
flesh.
inside of the grape.
What bit's classed as the flesh then? Sorry.
The flesh is the middle.
Right, okay.
Right, okay.
The middle. Oh yeah, that's the flesh. The flesh and is the inside.
So what's this second grape?
Make a note of how you found the skin to be on its own.
Yeah.
The second box is how you're finding the skin on its own. So it's been an hour and a half. I'm going to go through it explaining, and then we spend time as an activity. White grapes. There's hundreds of white grapes really. But we want to stick to the main white grapes because they have even distinctive taste on their own, and other grapes, the other 90 grapes I could talk to you about, are similar to one of them or a mixture of the two. Chardonnay is a grape that has a distinctive taste and is very important because it makes even champagnes. It makes Chardonnays, it makes Chablis, loads of stuff. Sauvignon Blanc is another grape that really sits on its own because that's the example of lime, lemon, gooseberry, really like no other. Riesling is apples, green apples and grapes. It's actually a wine that tastes of grapes. Not other wines taste like grape, which is a bit strange. Viognier, Chenin Blanc,
Shannon.
Falangina, Shannon, yeah, Chenin Blanc and all other grapes are somehow, can be described a sweeter Chardonnay or a softer Sauvignon Blanc. So you still refer to these main ones to describe others, yeah? How is a Seat car? Well, is cheaper than a VW and better than a Skoda. Yeah, because I'm trying to, but maybe I didn't hit it right, but that's what, yeah? Where's Audi? Well, Audi is better than, not as good as Mercedes, but less common than BMW. I don't want to upset anybody, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't mind upsetting people.
Yeah. Okay. So, Chardonnay, I'm trying to tell you, makes wines everywhere. People used to drink loads of Chardonnay, but everybody wants to grow Chardonnay because it's a reliable crop. If I'm a farmer, I want to put some stuff in the ground, look after it, fair dues, but then at the harvest to get a good harvest. If you grow potatoes and parsnips and carrots are hard-wearing, reliable crops. Same with grapes. If you grow Pinot Noir grape, Pinot Noir, it's finicky. Pinot Noir doesn't ripen evenly. In June, you might have half the berries ripe. Pick them, because you can't wait. If you wait for all the berries to ripen, to get them together, the early ripers get moldy. So you really, if you grow Pinot Noir, you have to go once in July, pick the berries that are ready, go back, keep an eye on the second lot, go twice. Yeah? Pinot Noir is a headache for most people, but makes fine wines, good wine when you get it right. Chardonnay, you plant it,
Let it do its thing.
and it's kind of making some wine. It will grow, it will make some wine. A lot of the time wine is kind of bland, but makes loads of alcohol, and people add oak and do stuff with it. But Chardonnay is common and popular. Sauvignon Blanc is intense, light-bodied or high acidity. Most of the time it's high acidity, we'll taste that. The citrusy flavors, grapefruit, cut grass, asparagus, and green bell peppers. If it smells of cat's pee, or old perfume that is past its date that you find in grandma's cupboard, it's a very expensive one, but it's
It smells like cat piss.
yeah.
Okay.
We won't have one like that. Okay. And Riesling. It's kind of gone all out of fashion because in the 60s, in the 70s, and in the 80s, our parents and our people that are now in their 90s used to drink Rieslings, and from generation to generation we always want to improve or make changes to what we've seen, and it's sweeter style or more very, very aromatic, too much in your face for the Rieslings. But it's a really good example of wine. It can make delicious sweet wines, dessert wines, it makes loads of good stuff. Green apples, ripe apples, peaches sometimes, and grapes. Actually, one of the very few wines that taste of grape. Black grapes. They're black or red, the farmer doesn't make a difference, we do, because we see the difference. Cabernet Sauvignon, the fullest, heaviest wine in the world, just loads of tannins, and blackcurrant, blueberries, sometimes a bit of mint and licorice, that kind of stuff. Bold and the strongest are Cabernet Sauvignons. A bit old-fashioned these days, unless people sit down with a fatty meat plate, because that really makes a beautiful kind of gravy. Oak is used when you make Cabernet Sauvignon to soften it a bit, to add a little bit of gentleness into this bold wine. Merlot, we're going to taste Merlot today. It's popular. It's the softer version of a Cabernet Sauvignon. If Cabernet Sauvignon is just blackcurrant and blueberries, I said, and blackberries, with Merlot you get plum. You get a bit of cherries. You get a nicer, softer range of fruit flavors. When we describe this wine with fruit of a certain type, it's not that they've added fruit juice to the wine. Typical, that grape has that kind of flavor, more than other fruit flavors, yeah? Okay. Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir is, think red fruit, cherries, raspberries, watermelon, strawberries. But the strawberries are not the sweetest. It's sometimes, you know, people have an allotment, people have some strawberries in the garden, they're their own. They taste them, they're not the sweetest sometimes, but they know where it comes from and it's crisp and fresh. It's a red, white, most white wine are judged for acidity. You could say that in red wines, Pinot Noir is the acidity red wine. Crisp, fresh, crunchy red wine. Oh, Shiraz. Shiraz is bold, heavy, full-bodied, kind of deep. Aged in oak sometimes, and it's peppery. If you have a barbecue on good meats, when you cook it, you add the pepper mill and the salt mill, like it really lifts those flavors. Shiraz seems to have that pepperiness already. So barbecue meat, grilled meat, go for Shiraz every time. I would like you to use activities 8, 9, 10, 5 to 10, 5 to 11, kindly.
Helping with the wine.
Yeah, looking at your wine list.